Right guys, welcome back to the Regal Gentleman Studio. Today we've got Wissem in the chair. How are you doing?
Not too bad.
You good? I'm very well, thanks mate, I'm very well. So, what's the plan? What are we doing today?
So, I want my hair kind of like low maintenance. It's very high maintenance, like very long. And so I have autoimmune condition called psoriasis.
Oh yeah.
And it makes it very hard to sort of like maintain my scalp.
Okay.
Because I like to use a lot of curling creams and things like that, but it just gets irritating. So
Okay.
I find myself like when it's short, like neat and quite low maintenance. Like, it just feels nice. And
Yeah. It's easier to manage
yeah,
as well, yeah.
pretty
Okay.
much,
How short are you thinking of going and what sort of style do you want to cut into?
Sort of like, best way to describe it is like a gentleman. It's like, you know, I've got the side parting, right?
Okay.
And then sort of like, how do I say? The best
Have you got any pictures?
Yeah, I've got a picture actually.
Show, if you can't explain it, just show me a picture. It's probably a bit easier to kind of to see where you're going with it.
I'll say also like the best word is like flow.
Okay.
Like I got these pictures here.
Okay.
So like short sides.
Okay.
You know, easy to maintain.
Everyone thinks when they see a hit picture that's meant to look like it's effortless, but there's an awful lot of effort gone into it. That's the reality. I don't want to kid you and believe that it's just going to be like you get up in the morning, you do that and it's done, because it's really not. Okay, that's been properly probably diffused into place. It's obviously a shot for a model shoot, or I don't know, a guy who's probably an influencer or some sort. So he'll have spent a lot of time on that. And your hair's way curlier than his.
Yeah, it is.
So to get anything like that would be maintenance, right? Because we'd have to blow dry out the curl to create more of a wave. So low maintenance is very short. This is low maintenance. Anything with curly hair, anything like the hair you've got now where it curls at the very front, you either get it cut to a sort of short curly look, or anything else after that's going to be high maintenance. I don't mean high maintenance to the point where like it's going to take you 20 minutes, but it's going to be products, it's going to be maintenance, it's going to be a lot of that.
Yeah,
so
I don't mind using like products every morning, just not a lot. I got a lot of hair.
Yeah.
So like a medium, like still like there's still some curl, I guess.
Yeah.
Like,
more than using a good reference photo. I can see what the idea you're going for, but I think we use that just purely as that's the kind of style element that you want, where it's a bit smarter, a little bit more wavy kind of thing. But that's it. I think everything from that we need to forget about, but just that kind of idea. Yeah. And then we balance it to your head shape and stuff and your hair. So back and sides then, are you happy to go like, not like, I'm not saying clippers or nothing, I'm just mean like, are you happy to take quite a lot off the back and sides?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Because it'll be a lot easier, it'll be a lot easier to manage, for sure. Because then if we just use the top, because if you look when you put your fingers through your hair like this, you do stretch the curl out quite a bit. Yeah. You see? Yeah, the curl does stretch out. It's just these ends get really curly, but they're a bit dry. It tends to happen. So if we can try and maybe create more of just like a loose curl with the product that we put in at the end, that would actually really help. And even if you just run your fingers through it and you let it set, because obviously if you use a curl cream, it's going to encourage curl. Okay, so you want to use a product that isn't going to encourage too much curl, just kind of give you a bit of separation. Because the word flow is it's a very thrown around term now. Flow is separation. The difference with flow in curly hair, it doesn't really give the same effect as it does in wavy or straight. So you'd see a difference in mine as you'd see it in Liam's, as you'd see it in yours. So it's a very loose term, okay? But I know where you're going with it. Yeah, but just try and remember, if anyone's watching, flow is basically separation and movement. So just make sure when you do ask for something like a picture that's got the movement in it, make sure your hair type's the same, or at least close to it, because it won't come out the same. So yeah, I feel like if we would take the back and sides quite tight, and then we kind of we connect in the top. We don't leave any disconnections going through, so it sits a bit more rounded. I feel like as soon as we take that side bit in here, that'll fill that corner in, and that's what will bring out your face shape. Cool. And I think that'll look nice. Got a great head of hair though, man.
Oh, thanks.
Fantastic head of hair. Yeah, well jealous about this head of hair, man. But yeah, if you're happy for me to just take it to a length, I can't give you an exact length now, but it's just that you'll see the ears a bit more, you'll see the neckline a bit more, and everything will just sort of fall in. If you're happy to kind of just go with it and see what happens.
That sounds good, honestly. Yeah.
All right, cool, man. Cool. Sweet. All right, let's give it a go then. Right, so Wissem's hair is nice and shampooed and conditioned, and just making sure I've just taught him to pat and scrunch when it comes to drying his hair as well. So hopefully if you take anything away today, just take this technique away. Yeah. Honestly, it'll save your hair life, I can assure you on that one. So pat and scrunch, don't do this, all right? So horseshoe for this. And this is where we're going to start to build up that shape. So again, we want that kind of corner on it that we were talking about before. We want that for Wissem's face shape, because there is quite a roundness to the corner. So yours has got a little bit of roundness to it. Very strong jawline, very wide jawline, but also concaves up here. So we need to kind of basically marry their jawline with the corners of your head, okay? Yeah. So I'm just bringing that round. I always feel like people go out with a complex when after they've heard me talk about the face shape. I can talk about you as though you're not here.
I've heard like about the face shape, like there's different hairstyles for different face shapes, and I just don't know my face shape. So.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that, man. I think anyone can have I think anyone can have a haircut as long as you cut it to match the face shape. So a style isn't. Not every style is dictated to a face shape. You know what I mean? Like some I've seen some things online that say like if you've got a diamond face shape, keep hair at the neckline through the behind the ear. But then I've seen other magazines come online and say take rid of that. Okay. I don't really think I think as long as you get the right angles when it's cutting, I think you can have anything. I really do. So lengthwise, I want to make it really low maintenance really low maintenance, but I still want to really create that movement within the hair. All right. So I think I'm going to remove at least half the length, and then just go a touch shorter towards the edges to try and build up this corner here. All right. I think we'll still keep a nice little bit of movement in there by taking away this much. I'm just trying to imagine Wissem coming to drying his hair in the morning, coming to style it, and being like, there's too much hair still there that you can't manage it. So I want to leave him with enough hair that it's manageable. It doesn't have to overload his hair with products, but he'll still get a nice look. That's the way I'm seeing it. So I think this is a good length. And seeing as Wissem has put me in charge, then I'm taking it to this length. But no, you'll see when it's done. You'll kind of see the effect. We can still create a nice little bit of that, what we say flow, right? We can still create some of that lovely bit of flow, that bit of separation, a bit of wave. And again, the technique we're using, it still creates that. So that looks nice. See, that'll be better for him. That'll be much better than that big, thick curl, which I'm pretty sure people at home are watching this going, no, don't cut it. And I start getting grief. Why did you cut that too short? Well, it doesn't work for everybody, does it? I think sometimes you can manage it, sometimes you can't, And plus you can always regrow it out, can't you, if you want to go for the long hair again. Right, so there we go. So now we've got a bit more cut in. We're starting to see that movement that we can create. So imagine just emphasising that with a bit of product, a bit of heat. Be ideal. So is this longer hair new for you then, is it, Wissem? Or have you had long hair for a while, or?
I've had long hair since, my last haircut was in December.
Oh, okay. Wow. Good few months.
Yeah.
Nice.
And even when I cut it, it was still,
Still a bit of length in it.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like each time I go for a cut, I'm like, oh. As soon as I start styling it, and then I feel like, okay, maybe a bit shorter, and then a bit shorter, and then, but like my hair grows so fast.
Does it really? Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I think you're definitely blessed in the whole hair department, mate, for sure.
I had a buzz cut once actually as well.
Did you?
Yeah, and just grew it all out till this length actually.
Wow.
Just started sort of cutting it again and again, just experimenting, and just never really got that,
The thing that you liked. You never found that thing that you went like kind of. It's like it's a bit like when you go, wow, that's cool. You know what I mean? Or yes, I like that. It's that kind of feeling, isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I am very indecisive on on hairstyles and things like that. Yeah, I've gone for a lot of hairstyles.
Oh, yeah. See, I think you'll love this. I love that movement there. I think this is really nice. And if I can keep it looking a little bit wetter as well, that'd be cool. So when you say that, obviously you can experiment a little bit. What line of work are you in? What do you do?
Well, I'm a student.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
that makes sense why you can experiment with your hair.
Yeah.
Nice.
I did do a bit of modelling.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, when I was
go on. Tell us where, when. Go on. I'm sure the comments people will ask. So go on.
Well, I started when I got scouted when I was 18.
Oh wow, nice.
And I did a bit here and there, like e-commerce and things like it was fun.
Like the sort of like the ASOS style stuff, things like that.
Yeah, sort of like that.
Yeah.
H&M.
Oh, nice.
Like those type of things.
I can see the Google things now, can't you? Wissem H&M.
Yeah. And it was fun, but you know, I had to go back to studies. You know.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
The big job that I know a lot of my mates or clients who've been models or done modelling, they all want the fragrance steal, because apparently that's the big one, isn't it? Like that's the guy. Do you remember was it the Davidoff Cool Waters guy lived off the Davidoff Cool Waters advert for 10 years. 10 years apparently. Yeah, I don't know if that's true. But apparently, because it was just getting like redone and like, I mean, the same advert was getting pushed over and over again.
Oh my god!
I think he just lived off the endings of that for like 10 years. Yeah.
I heard like same thing. I think his first name was like David. Like he's like
Gandhi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is like the most famous advert, like the Dolce & Gabbana.
Dolce & Gabbana, light blue on it. Was it the light blue one? Yeah.
Got the fragrance because of that. As well, I'll be honest. Yeah.
That's it, man. That's it.
Yeah. Like,
you put it on, you instantly think you look like David Gandhi, don't you?
Exactly.
You know, I'm going to be on a boat in sort of somewhere southern Italy, you know.
Yeah. I would love to do something like that, honestly.
Yeah, mate. Honestly, I think when you've had your haircut now done and the finished looks done, you know, you might be surprised. It could be we could have modelling scouts watching. You never know. They've got to find models somewhere, right? You know what I mean? They may be watching our channel.
Maybe. Yeah.
What are you studying then? What did you go back and do?
So I'm doing a master's in human-computer interaction.
Okay.
So it's like...
That AI, is it? Is that sort of stuff
it's like AI and just like studying how humans interact with like technology, really. Like
so good looking model. Brains. I mean, come on, man. Tall, dark, and handsome. I mean, you're ticking every box here, mate, aren't you? You know what I mean?
Making me blush. No, it is fun. It is fun. I'm like literally in my last few classes now. So.
Oh, nice.
Graduation.
It's a big wide world, then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you reckon you'll take it up as a career, or do you think this is more just like a learning thing for you, then you'll change career?
I think I'd like to take it up as a career for sure, actually.
Oh, okay. Nice.
I've always been into because before that I did a bit of graphic design.
Oh, cool.
I did a bachelor's in graphic design, and just like designing like.
Just your kind of thing, innit? Yeah.
Yeah, like.
Nice, man.
Designing posters, like websites,
nice.
Things like that. But I just wanted to do a bit more, so I did the masters. Just, I think in terms of career, I think I'll see like I'm just flowing. I don't really have like a plan.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Kind of hard to ask, your 16-year-old self, isn't it? Like, and what every kid gets asked at 16. Oh, yeah. You've got to pick a job now, go and do it. Maybe you get 2 extra years in sixth form, and you get a few extra years in uni. But reality is, I know loads of people who've been really successful at like 40 odd, and they've changed career. They've gone completely in a different direction. Yeah. Don't ever forget anyone watching. Colonel Sanders made his millions when he was in his 70s, apparently. The KFC guy. So there's time for everybody, That's the way I see it. Apparently that's when he got successful. He got turned down for years, and he was doing like some really poor job in his 50s, and then come up with the KFC idea in his like 60s or 70s. Yeah.
Never give up.
Never give up, man. Never give up. Sweet, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean? It genuinely is. If you like something, like you can kind of go and do it, can't you? Really. I'm just working around with the razor on this just to give a very nice natural finish. I feel like this will really benefit. Again, I just want any product that I put in to Wissem's hair I just want this just to bring out what I've done. Okay, that's all I want to do. Because the whole point of product, in my opinion, is that it should just enhance, right? That's all we want to do is enhance what he's got going on and what I've cut into it. That's all I want to do. So by putting a lot of razor work in and really breaking up these edges, it just creates the cut straight away. And all we do is put a little bit of product through the corners here, there, and everything falls about nicely.
Definitely need a routine, I'd say.
Yeah, routine and be disciplined with it, mate. That's what you got to do. Right, I'm going to cut this through here a little bit just to sort of frame that face a bit more with them curls. Now, I'm just going to go around the edges with the trimmer just to get rid of any of the neck hair, because that's kind of what's ruining it now. So I'm just going to trim the neck hair away, but I keep the hair still sitting it's still nice and full at the neck. You're just pulling that away, like that. Just get a very natural finish. You're just using the trimmer just to cap off any of the little bits. Lift that up. Let that hang over, like that. There we go. Right, so the top now, okay? Yeah. So you can see the shape that we're building up. The fullness, the squareness, right? Is that length? Are you happy with that length?
Yeah, perfect.
Actually. Yeah, you sure?
Yeah, I like
You're not just saying that?
No.
All right, cool. Just want to make sure I don't need to leave and be like, oh, could have been a bit shorter there. Cool. I think that's a really good length personally as well. I think that's going to be a really low maintenance. It's got the wave in there. You can create curl with that as well if you want. You've got a few options there, which is what I want to, again, low maintenance should be options, right? So, through the top. I'm going to start by doing the center parting. Don't forget, we're not cutting it into the center part. We're just doing this to split the head into two and work from one side to the other. Right, so center part all the way down, right? Like that, okay? Now, what we're doing this for is I'm splitting the head down into two separate parts, working on the right and then working to the left. Now, I'm going to connect this in on an angle straight out, right? And then I'm going to connect it in a corner and then it's going to be straight. So what I'm essentially doing is cutting it like that, in like a sort of triangular shape, then really square. So what happens is if I was to cut this square and I was to pull this over and do it horizontally, I would build, as soon as he pushes his hair back, the build up of weight would just be all the way through this bit here, which we don't need to leave a corner to create a corner. And you'll see what I mean in a minute. So by cutting it straight up, like that, that's the angle we're cutting at. Then we slightly cut it on an angle, then we cut it straight. As Wissem pushes this back, that creates the squareness. And you'll see in a second. Makes it low maintenance, makes it work, makes it look nice. I'll show you in a second. So taking this section from the middle point of the sides, I'm going to take all that off. Right. Now this is where the sheer panic comes in, right? Oh my God, but look how much length I've left in there still. Still loads of length. All I've done is connected the sides in straight away, okay? Now, small sections through the top. Doing the same thing now. I've got a guide from behind, I've got a guide from this underneath, like that. Instead of leaving loads of weight at the corner, I'm taking the corner weight away. But what that does, as we push the hair backwards in the style from that natural center, that natural off-center parting that we're going for, that kind of where we showed you before where the natural parting was, as we push this back, it creates flow, but it also builds up a corner. So instead of leaving a corner in there for it to grow out really quickly and for it to not look nice after a month or two, we are creating something that you create the corner with, not that I cut a corner in, okay? Loads of boxes that we need to tick off, and so far that's what we'll do, okay? Pull this out and pull this nice and straight out, like that. Just continue to come out like this. Keep with the guide underneath. And then we have a guide from behind. Keep your fingers nice and straight, so we're not changing the angle. Like that. Use our guide from there. Into there like that. Right, now what we do, coming from the centre, we'll work on a slight angle now, just to cap off and graduate into the top, like so. So this is creating a nice graduation into the sides. Like so, there's our guide from the top, and we've got a guide from the right hand side, and a guide from behind as well, straight out. Cap off that little corner. This is all about a graduating section, okay? This isn't uniform, this is a graduation, okay? That's what we're going for, more of a graduation. So it's a blank canvas again to the top, which is what we need. We need that blank canvas, otherwise it just doesn't fall right. Cool. Our length in that we want, like so. Perfect. Now put the fringe in. So we come right across the front, like this. Put this out. I'm going to graduate this a little tiny bit shorter down to the front. I'm trying to graduate this a touch. Then I'm going to use the razor to really bring this out now as well. So just little bits, because you don't want to take away that curl too much, okay? You just want to kind of break it up a touch. Just take away that thickness that's sitting in there. Like that. Again, I'm not going in too much. I'm doing very fine sections. I'm not trying to bring out anything that or destroy the curl or anything like that at all. I just want to kind of thin it out a tiny bit. To finish this off, right, 2 pumps of the serum. This is very glossy, right? But as you put it into the hair, it does dry in. It just makes it look really nice and healthy, okay? You won't even tell in a minute. It'll just look really super healthy, okay? So when your hair is nice and towel dried, best time to apply. If you want to give your hair more shine, apply when it's dry, okay? But I would always go in when it's a bit towel dried like that, right?
It feels way nice and light. Like I really,
yeah. It is, yeah. It's we've took enough of the thickness out to make that work. Then we set this down like that, okay? Bring that back in, tuck that in, like so. And now what you'd do is you just go out the house, you'd leave it, or you'd sit in the house, have your cup of tea, and wait for all the DMs to start coming in after this video to come on again. Now what you can do, obviously when that dries, that'll start to shrink in, and that'll go more wavy and everything else. I'm going to speed that process up with a bit of heat, okay? Hold it above it, like that. Just work my fingers through it. And that's it. Now all you need to do now is let this dry in, and you'll end up with lovely wave, beautiful curls, and then just pull this apart like that. So you got that nice. Similar to the photograph, I'd say, but probably a bit more like our very own model that we used.
I really do like it, I have to admit.
You see?
Yeah.
Have you after low maintenance?
Yep.
That's it. But you've worked with everything that you've got. You've got the benefit of the curls, the wave, it being short off the ears and still being natural on the neck, the shape in that corner, you know that? Talking to you about? That's what we filled in. You see? I think it just really suits you. I'll show you properly with the gown off so you can see it with your clothes on, all right? Because a gown takes the haircut away a little bit, I think. So I'll take this off you a sec. Hold the mirror. And I want you to literally hold it here, like that, eye level. I'm going to spin you around so you can see your hair from a different angle. There we go, so angle that around there.
Oh.
So you get all that natural finish. Look at that. That's the flow that I was talking about with yours. Yeah. It's a bit different to the guys, but it's for you. It's more your hair type.
I really do like it.
Looks nice, doesn't it? Yeah. And there's that side as well. So you see, falls down, you've got that shape that all sits very natural. And that way, yeah, if you want to get that curly, you could if you wanted to. If you want to have that a little bit straighter, you could blast it through a bit more if you wanted to. We want it just to sit natural. That's how you do it.
Yeah, it's perfect, honestly.
Looks nice, doesn't it, man?
Yeah, yeah. Feels good too.
Yeah, it does. And then it just falls just out your eyes as well. So if it does fall down, it looks all right.
Thank you so much.
Happy, yeah?
Cheers, yeah.
Thanks, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Lovely to meet you. Thanks very much.
Thank you.